Hey everyone, I finished watching the next episode of Street Sharks, Jurassic Shark. Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting sick of the shark pun titles, but anyway, this title actually is one of the ones that makes sense. Let's see, this episode starts off with the Sharks and Benz are going out for burgers, and suddenly oh yeah, and there's a funny bit, there's one of my favorite lines at the beginning, where Slamu is riding with Benz in the van, and he goes, "I'm so hungry I could eat a dashboard." And looks at the front of the car, or the van. I don't know why, for some reason I just love that line. So anyway, the sharks are going out for burgers, and then they see Reptile and Calamari driving by in new vehicles, and also with their shark masks on. Which now I'm trying to remember, did Calamari even have a shark mask? I know Reptile didn't. Did he? I don't remember. Anyway, they do look like the masks that Slash and Slopster had in the first couple of episodes, so that's a cool little callback. Oh, and also, according to Wikipedia, this is the first episode of season 2 of Street Sharks. So yeah, the first season was 13 episodes, and this is the beginning of season 2. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. It makes some sense though, because the last episode was kind of a big episode, and it had like a big ending with Paradigm being confronted by Dr. Bolton and the sharks getting really close to reuniting with their father. This episode also feels like a big episode, and it feels like a premiere episode. Although this is a very strange Street Sharks episode. I think this is probably the beginning of where Street Sharks starts to become really weird, like weirder. In the past, there were episodes that were really far out there and strange, but now we're moving into the realm of the fantastic. So, uh, oh yeah, there's a car chase, because we haven't had one of those for a while in Street Sharks. You know, when I was a kid, I never really thought about how many car chases there were in this show. Holy crap. So anyway, Reptile and Calamari were trying to steal some part that Paradigm needed for a time machine. Paradigm wants to bring dinosaurs to the present so he can experiment on them. Yeah. So, oh, and also, when they go to Paradigm's lab, there's a new mutant Seviet there, Shrimp Louie. This was so bizarre to me as a kid, seeing this guy. I just assumed he was from an episode I'd missed. When I got the DVD set, he shocked me all over again, because he just comes right out of nowhere. He's one of the only Seviet mutants that Paradigm has who just comes right out of nowhere. Like, actually, I'm trying to remember. I don't think there are any other mutants that don't have, like, a setup. I think they all have, like, their own episode, or Paradigm at least says who they are and where they came from. Shrimp Louie is just this big, annoying shrimp guy, and I don't know anything about him. I did look up, I found out there was a toy made of him, which is far more threatening than the Shrimp Louie in the show. In the show, he's a shrimpy looking weak guy, and he is weak. He cowers at everything, he's scared of everything. He'll talk big, but he won't actually do anything, and that's his whole bit. Later on, Paradigm seems to like Shrimp Louie, and I don't really know why. All I can guess is because he knows that Shrimp Louie can't really fight back against him in anything. Like, Shrimp Louie, of all the mutants, like, he can't really fight back. Paradigm could easily overpower him, but he appreciates how loyal that Shrimp Louie is. So, I don't know. Maybe that's Shrimp Louie's purpose, is just to be loyal to Paradigm. Not really accomplish anything, just be a loyal pet to him. Whatever. So yeah, back to the plot. Let's see, Streaks and Jab, they get to Paradigm's lab, and for some reason, Streaks is really rash and impatient, and wants to just break right in with no plan. Alright, so then he dives through the ground, and then there's a weird comedy bit, where Jab, like, is gonna smash through the wall, but then he, like, hits something, and he bounces out and goes, oops. And the way it is, it looks like it's played to be a joke, but I don't get it. Like, it's funny that what could he possibly bump into that could stop him? They swim through concrete. Later in this episode, he bites through, like, metal. Whatever, let's see. Looking at my notes here. Oh yeah. Streaks falls through the time machine portal that Paradigm starts up. Jab follows him, and they find themselves in the past, and they're separated. Jab lands in the water, Streaks lands in a jungle, and gets into a bunch of altercations with a bunch of crazy dinosaurs. Meanwhile, Jab, he sees a sea monster uh, going through the water. He gets uh, clawed by a crab, and then suddenly he's trapped in a cage. And this was really weird. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I didn't really think about how weird and out of place the rest of this episode is with what's come before. But as an adult, I definitely see it. The show, Jump the Shark, which would have been a good title for this episode, actually, Jumping the Shark. Anyway, the camera, when it shows Jab caught in the cage, the camera pans down and shows these mer people, these humanoids with fish tails, dragging him down. And then the next time we see Jab, he's in a prison cell or something. And then this mermaid girl comes up. Her name's Lyra, and she sounds a lot like Dr. Lena. I'm wondering if it's the same voice actress. I'm pretty sure it is, because they sound almost exactly alike. And I'm wondering if, was there supposed to be some kind of implication that this is Lena's ancestor? Whatever. Anyway, she explains to Jab that this is Atlantis. Atlantis exists. And he's like, whoa, okay. Alright. And then later, let's see, she's telling him that the reason we captured you was because we thought you might have been a soldier in, was it the Neptunians' army? And she gives him like this psychic vision of what the Neptunian, or one Neptunian, what he looks like. Oh, and also she can read minds, but only like nice people's minds. Okay, that was weird. And so anyway, just then the Neptunians attack, and they give Streaks, or Jab, they give Jab this suit. He goes out. Oh, and the weird thing is they give him like a scuba helmet. So he goes over to the submarine the Neptunians are in. He takes the helmet off, chews a hole in it, and then they retreat because their submarine is damaged. Alright. So then he gets back, and he's all bummed because he misses Streaks, and he wishes he could find him. And then we see what Streaks is up to. Streaks has been, what was it? He was bothering a bird. The mama bird came down, picked him up, dropped him in its giant nest. He makes a hang glider out of some bones and weeds or whatever, flies down, and then he's getting chased by a dinosaur. The dinosaur grabs him. The Atlanteans give Jab this time travel thing they developed. And so, let's see, Jab's able to teleport to where Streaks is, grab him, and then they take him back to the present. Oh, but before that, we see what the other Street Sharks are up to in the present, or 1994, 95, whatever. Let's see. They find Paradigm's lab, and they're about to go inside, but then this trap door collapses, and they find themselves, they're underneath Paradigm's lab. And they start shaking the walls and banging things, and it collapses the whole second story, and everything just crashes right down, including the time machine, which is damaged. And I was like, oh, that's some dramatic irony right there. The time machine is what they need to go back and save Jab and Streaks, as far as they know, but they've just destroyed it themselves. But then they kind of ruin the moment with Paradigm saying, if it hasn't already been destroyed before, click, 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 and he sets off a bomb and blows up the whole thing, and he's like, it's gone now, ha ha ha, and... Alright. And then Jab and Streaks just immediately fall through as soon as Paradigm's gone, so... tension was held for a whole second. I don't know, it's really weird. It seems like they built up some really cool dramatic irony only to just not realize that they did it. Strange. Whatever. So anyway, they're all together again, and they decide to go out for burgers. Why not? What else would they do? So yeah, this was a crazy, weird episode. Oh, and also, this is the one where Slash and Slopster just disappear. And I don't think they ever show up again. For whatever reason, they're just gone. I don't know why. And it's too bad, because I really liked them, and they were just starting to give Slopster a few more lines. And now he's gone for the rest of the series. We got How many more episodes? 20 something? Whatever. Anyway, um, let's see. Oh, the animation in this episode has improved a little bit from the previous season. The first season was really all over the place with animation. The original, first 3 episodes, the premiere, had some really good animation. I'm thinking they probably put some more effort into it because it was the first episode and they needed to impress people. But after that, the animation was kind of all over the place. Sometimes it was really bad. Other times it looked okay. Other times it was like really stilted, but with some cool designs for the sharks. Like some of the more stilted animation in episodes still had cool looks for the sharks. This one, the animation is consistently okay. There's a few errors like the mouths not moving or colors jumping around a little bit or like some awkward poses or going slightly off model. But for the most part, everything stays on model and looks competent, but I don't know, part of it just feels a little too sterile and clean, and I kind of like the rougher first season's look. Uh, Notes are jumping around here. Oh yeah, Paradigm's latest plan with the time machine is pretty far out there. Like, it's way farther than what he's been doing before, which is, oh, I want to mutate people. I want to gene slam the city. I want people to be loyal to me. Now it's, I want to experiment on dinosaurs. And using my time machine I just happened to have built. So I don't know, it's kind of a weird Saturday morning cartoon villain thing for him, which he is. This was a Saturday morning cartoon, and he's the villain. But in the past, I felt like he was a bit more of a threat without resorting to this kind of thing. Whatever. Oh, and the Atlanteans. How weird is it they just casually introduced, oh yeah, Atlantis exists. When Streaks and Jabs go back to the present, they don't say anything about it. Their first thought is, hey, let's go get some burgers, man. Atlantis exists. And you're just gonna sit on it? I mean, maybe it doesn't exist anymore. Because it's, a couple million years later. Yeah, I think this episode maybe... Oh, and also the Atlanteans they're introduced so casually. Like, they're in the distant past with dinosaurs, cage, camera pan, mermaids exist, and they live in Atlantis. They're fighting with Neptunian fish people who maybe are aliens. From when I was a kid, I seem to remember thinking they were aliens, and I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, this is an okay episode. I feel like this one was probably, like, trying to slowly introduce the concept of more fantastical things going on, time travel and aliens and otherworldly creatures existing on Earth, like mermaids. So yeah, that's all for this one. See ya.